Hello? Hello?
Yeah, Aditya, we can hear you.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Great, great, great.
Welcome to the
Great.
panel.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Amit sir. Hi, Bibin. Hi, Mukesh sir. Hi,
Hi,
Manoj.
Aditya.
Hello, hello, hi.
All right, so
Oh,
hello
hope you guys
everyone.
are all doing great.
Hi, sir. I would quickly introduce all the speakers, but first of all, let me quickly address the last beautiful keynote speaker and the insights ma'am shared. I really enjoyed them, and I'm sure we all enjoyed it. As I told everyone, please ensure that the only way we can communicate with each other is either through emoticons or through chat section. So please ensure that you people keep the conversation there. Now, there is one question that I want to ask everyone quickly, and after this, we're going to start with the panel discussion. I'll create a poll quickly, and you all are going to answer me that, okay? So keep your eyes on the poll. The first question that I'm going to ask you is: have any time in your life, any one of you, all the audience specifically, and the speakers as well, just I want to ask, you have ever gone to a movie theater, okay, and you have seen the hero coming with a very built-up body, or the heroine coming with a very toned body, and you telling to yourself, you know what, in my life I also want to build this kind of body, or I also want to do hard work for this, okay? So I'm going to create a quick poll, and I want everyone to answer yes or no, okay? So the poll will come up to you, and you have to say either yes or no. Have you ever felt to have that? I hope you all can see that. Yes. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. The polls are just going insane. And here I have. Okay. Okay. This is insane. There are 80. Okay, I'll stop it now. So there are 82% of people who say that yes, we have seen hero and heroine, and we have felt that oh my God, we should have those kind of muscles and that kind of toned body. The next question, I'll again start the poll. How many of you then, when you felt that you dreamt of having that, you actually went and you tried to make that body, okay? Yes or no? How many of you did that? I'm starting the polling. So here I start. How many of you actually tried to go and do that? Again, the poll is going insane. I have 50-50 ratio now, 40, 38, 64. Oh my God. Okay, so I'll stop it here. And it comes to 50-50. So there were 82% of people who told that, we dreamt of having the body. 50% people tell that we actually worked for it. Now my last question, ladies and gentlemen. How many of the 53%, this question is to the 53% people who said that we started. Okay, how many of you did it? And then after a while you felt that there is no result coming, the consistency really. I would request the speakers to keep their mic mute so that when I call you, the voice doesn't flash. This is a small request to speakers. So now the last question, okay, last question. That when you went to make that body, there was a point of time you felt, oh my God, this is strenuous, this is tiring. I want to give up now. Okay, how many of you did that? Be very honest. Okay, be very honest. Again, I'm starting the polling. You have to give the answer. Okay, oh my God, I really like the polling feature because the polling game is insane. I mean, all right. So 46% of people say that that's what we did. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now let me tell you why do I ask this question to you. The question why do I ask you this question is that usually in life, we all see big dreams. We all want to create big things. But when it comes to working hard for it, when tough time comes, there are only few people who have the power of resisting. They have the power of persistence. They have the power of consistency. They are the people who win at the end, and they are the people at the end who have big muscles and who have toned body. Today, ladies and gentlemen, the panel discussion is about how can we survive in tough times? How can we create great muscles? And I would now quickly like to call upon request the speakers for a minute of their mic so that the voice don't clash. And now I would quickly like to call upon stage our panelists. Our first panel member, ladies and gentlemen, is a chartered accountant and he is the CEO of Startup Buddy. Now, I have many a times met him, and one thing I honestly feel for Amit sir is that he's a man with millions of questions, and he's a man of billions of answers that he can give to you that comes out of his experience and involvement. Please, with a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, welcome our first panelist, Mr. Amit Singhal. And I want everyone to show the enthusiasm through your emoticons and through the chat section. Welcome, sir, to the panel.
Thank you, KPH. Thank you for a wonderful introduction. You always bring new introduction for me. I always thought that you will give the same kind of introduction, but every time you find out new ways to introduce me. Thank you for that, and it gives me.
Thank you so much. So you have such a dynamic personality. I always have new things to talk about you. The next person, ladies and gentlemen, that who's going to come on stage, I believe he's the most prominent evangelist of blockchain technology. And the interesting part about him is that where a part of him loves technology, a part of him also loves theater to the extent that he has studied theater, he has worked in theaters, he has been on different stages. And I believe he's an artist, not only on theaters, but also when it comes to technology. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, I would like to call upon stage our next panel member, Mr. Bipin Babu, with a huge round of applause. And I am seeing a lot of people reacting. Please ensure that the reactions don't stop, because that's how we actually show the respect and the love for our panelists. Welcome, sir. It's an honor that you're a part of the panel. So you're mute so we cannot hear you.
Hi, am I audible now?
Yes, you are, sir.
Thank you so much. Seldom people talk about my theatre skills, but thank you so much for the warm welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. So now, ladies and gentlemen, the next panelist who's going to come on stage is the vice president of a company who has actually revolutionized the concept of exchange of money and payment system. Now, I know what you all are thinking and what you are thinking. We all are in unison. Yes, you are correct, ladies and gentlemen. The next person who's coming on stage is the vice president of KTM, Mr. Saurabh Jain. Welcome, young, dynamic, hardworking. Sir, we welcome you on the panel. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you, sir. All right. Moving on to the next speaker. Our next panel member is a man who wears multiple successful hats. He is the CEO of Project GK. He's the co-founder of SmartUp. And you will not believe it, but he has a corporate experience of 10 long years. Ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, welcome Mr. Mukesh Malik. Sir, we are actually looking forward to your insightful thoughts that you're going to share today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you. Great.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next person who's coming on stage is the chairman of Thai Global Board of Trustees, Thai Rajasthan. He is sophisticated, keen, industrious, and an eloquent speaker. A serial entrepreneur and a change maker. Ladies and gentlemen, on stage next is Mr. Mahavir Pratap Sharma with a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. As I can see, welcome, sir.
Thank you.
All right, and now calling on stage our last speaker, our last panelist, who is also going to moderate the entire session, is Mr. Aditya Arora. He is the CEO of FAAD Network Private Limited. He's a Padma Shri recipient. He's zealous. He has an unwavering flow of energy when he comes to work. Please help me welcome Mr. Aditya Arora, and I hand over the panel to you, sir. We're looking forward to amazing discussion today and insightful thoughts from all the panelists. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, KPH. So thank you so much for that warm introduction of all my lovely panelists, and also the wondrous energy that you displayed all this while. Really a fan of that thing. I hope everyone in the panel does not feel good to be called them panel members. They're all friends in the ecosystem, all people who we closely work with, see every day. So we're really happy to have all of you again and discuss about a topic which is so relevant in these times because A, it is tough times, as we know, for everybody, right? B, it is achieving excellence is something that everyone strives for. So we have the two positives that obviously everyone should look for. That's why we are here to discuss on the panel. So I'll not take much of time, and I'll just simply open it up because we have about 25 odd minutes for the entire scheme of things to go through. So as you all know, the topic of the panel is achieving excellence in tough times. So would love I open the stage to all of you to share your opening remarks on how do you think in these tough times we can strive for excellence? So please be very brief in your responses. As I said, we have to keep things moving in the wake of time. So just would love if you can share your opening remarks on that. So anyone can start. Anyone who's ready.
I think you'll have to take name Aditya, otherwise nobody will start. So you can specify.
Okay. So starting with Saurabh sir, if you can start, always first mover advantage.
So I believe that basically, see in startups, I think basically, can you repeat the question again?
So it's just an opening remark of the topic that achieving excellence in tough times. So what are your views on that? How we can achieve excellence in tough
So
times?
I think that see excellence can be achieved in any time, and right now I think is the best year for achieving excellence because we have relatively more time due to work from home, and I have been reading a lot of books these days as well as doing a lot of research because generally in day-to-day life you are not able to research, you are not able to do Saraswati Aradhana, which I always say. So Lakshmi ki Aradhana to we always do, and Shakti ki Aradhana we always do in our work. But Saraswati Aradhana ke liye we generally don't have time. So I think this year we have that time, and excellence can only be brought about through that. So I believe that we should take this year positively. Obviously, this year has negatives. I am not saying, I'm not denying that it has many negatives. But I believe that when the times get tough, the tough gets going. So I believe that this year would differentiate the men from boys, and especially I was 3 4 days ago I was talking to Mr. Apurv Ranjan Sharma of Venture Capitalist, and I asked him how are the days for early stage investing, and he said for early stage. Startup, this is the best time because obviously early stage startup was not planning to be profitable immediately, and the early stage startup needed some time for gestation, and this is the best time for gestation. So my feeling is that it is a good time. We should try to use this good time. Obviously, there are issues in day-to-day life. We are not living a normal life, but obviously these times will go after 3 4 months. I hope we have a vaccine and we will be back to the normal life again.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much. That is indeed insightful, and people are loving it in the comment section as well. You start with Saraswati Aradhana and along with Lakshmi Mata and Shakti as well. My next person on the panel would be Mahavir sir. Uh, what are your thoughts on how we can achieve excellence in tough times? How have you been dealing with?
I mean, I think true entrepreneurs never have easy times. I have never had life easy. Whenever life was easy, mujhe maar. I mean, I've always taken more than I can chew, and I think that's what true entrepreneurship is. I mean, if things were easy, then we wouldn't be called entrepreneurs. I think there's nothing tough. There's nothing easy. Entrepreneurs are hardworking people. And nothing deters us from moving ahead, and nothing should. I think if challenges were not there, we would not be entrepreneurs. We would just be traders or businessmen. The fact that we take on challenges in easy times and become tougher during tough times is what makes us, startups or investors or true entrepreneurs. And I think that's what I feel. For me, there's been no difference. Still as busy, still as easy. You have to take time out and plan things. You have to continue to pivot. Nothing stays forever. General Motors will not be the way it is or will never be, and so on. So any company that you take, nothing will change. You have to continue to evolve, continue to grow. And for me, all times are the same. Today, tomorrow, COVID or no COVID, I think things will move on. I just feel that you have to continue to grow, keep learning from inside, keep experimenting, keep delivering, keep executing. I think success will be yours tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah. So Aditya has left. So I
No.
I
I'm
think
here.
if his
I'm here.
yeah. Okay. It was showing. Yeah. Go ahead, please.
So I am taking the privilege to speak next, Aditya and Sumit, however Aditya has come. So I personally feel that this is a year of survival for everyone. Means no doubt about it, that it is a tough year and everyone is finding ways to survive. So I personally feel from startup perspective that this is a good opportunity. They can achieve excellence in this tough time because everyone will have to start afresh after 4 months. Every business has suffered. Some businesses have a less impact and some has high impact. So practically the startups, this is going to be a fresh start for everyone. So I personally feel that excellence is something which can be achieved because you have get extra time to think about it. You can now make new strategy according to the COVID situation, and you may have a fresh race to start along with the others who were very ahead of you in the past time. So that's my opening remarks related to this topic.
That's really insightful, Amit. In fact, I was coming to you the next. So yeah, definitely you paid with that effort. And we have the first takeaway from this session already, which is that achieving excellence has got no excuse or has got no substitute. With COVID, without COVID, in COVID world or a post-COVID world, you have to strive for excellence every time. And as Mahavir sir perfectly said it, that an entrepreneur is a synonym for great determination and success. So without COVID or with COVID, you have to go on and march on that path. So would love to know your thoughts next, Bibin. What are your thoughts on the topic, achieving excellence in tough times, if you're talking about today?
So I thought I'll be the last. I know I would have been easier for me. So I mean, as I said, as Amit sir was mentioning, I want to reiterate. So for me, excellence this year is survival, very clearly. So if you are having survival, I think you are achieving excellence this year. The graph is the bar is set very low. Secondly, the only thing which I want to start with in this session is that probably we should understand that whatever the problem which we have is going to stay with us for a while. So which means that we'll have to survive for a longer while. The challenges are going to remain with us probably until a vaccine or something which is found. And I don't see any of that happening very soon. So yes, let's believe that this is not a temporary disruption. It's going to stay with us, and let's plan the way forward accordingly. That would be excellence for me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bibin. We could say one thing that post-COVID or without COVID, you're already minting billions of dollars, as can be seen on the clock behind you as well. So, anyways. So Mukesh sir, last but obviously you would know for a fact that you are the best, you're not the least. So happy to have your thoughts as well on this. How we can achieve excellence during such times. Mukesh sir, I guess Mukesh sir has left the stage. So anyways, I'll continue with the panel since we have to end it in time, and then I'll have Mukesh sir back. Yeah, Mukesh sir, you're back. Hello. No, I guess Mukesh sir is is facing some technical issues at his end, and anyways, I'll have his viewpoints as well. So the next question is that how do we define excellence? And I would love if you can share your thoughts. What is excellence for you, and what are the certain sense of qualities do you think someone should have if they want to strive for excellence? So again, I'll go with the same order then. Saurabh sir, starting with you.
So excellence, I think in the startup context, excellence is about solving the problem of the consumer and the user. And in the context of excellence, I think it's not about technology or it's not about scaling. Excellence is about making your customer and the user happy. And if you are able to do that, obviously you will get more funding, you will be able to scale, as well as technology, I always say, is subservient to the needs of the user. So my belief is very clear in terms of startups. They should only focus on solving the problem of the customer, and that customer, if he or she is happy, that customer will do the virality. Many people focus on getting funding. Many people focus on getting growth hacking. All these things are subservient to making the customer happy. If the customer is happy, automatically virality would happen. So we should be very single-mindedly focused on making the customer happy. I have observed that most of the uh, experienced startup founders, they are very focused on making the customer happy. I have seen this personally with Vijay, our founder, as well as I have seen, like I've read about and I have seen how other entrepreneurs work who have been successful. They are all very focused on making the customer happy. So that, according to me, is the formula for excellence.
Yeah, that's a very interesting take. Winning a customer's heart is winning the road towards excellence. So great point laid by. Sorry, sir. Any points there on your side, Mahavir sir? Anything you would like to add here?
Well, excellence is a combination of quite a few things. First and foremost, one's knowledge makes him an excellent person. Your domain expertise and your ability to continue to learn in that domain or that knowledge defines one side of excellence. Second type of excellence is that your ability to learn should never go down. You should continue to learn. You should continue to grow, never become laid back or sit back, and that drives excellence. Thirdly, I feel the will to adapt and change and look at other people's opinion and continue to adapt that while staying, not losing your ground. You have to be very, very firm from inside, but, agile and able to adapt to the circumstances or environment. That defines excellence. And last but not the least, I feel that one should have a very, very calm exterior, but a very, very aggressive, vibrant, energetic interior. While one is functioning as a startup or an entrepreneur, your demeanor should not, actions should be what your core or your heart is, but your demeanor and your way of putting things should never be boisterous, never be firm, or never be strong. Your resilience should come from within, and your confidence should come from your quietness rather than with your loud anger or shout. That's what I think what makes one excellent. Otherwise, everything else can be acquired, but these are our core abilities that I think one needs to acquire other than knowledge to be excellent in these times or any times for that matter.
It's very interestingly put forward. And as you perfectly said, that start on not only startups or a products or a markets have pivot, it is the people as well who have to pivot with changing surroundings, with changing environments around them. And yes, you always have to be the reverse of a coconut, I believe, which I guess sir came out in your comments as well. Is that you always have to be extremely calm on the exterior, but keep that firepower within you. Never let that die down, and always be very passionate towards what you're working on. Because at the end of the day, passion is what we all live for. Again, happy to have Amit sir's view as well on this. So, what are your
Sure.
views on what is excellence? Yeah.
Yeah, so Aditya, to me, the excellence is something in this tough time is to keep everyone's happy, because you know that there are various stakeholders to a startup. There are investors, there are customers, there are team members, and in this tough time, everyone is facing a great difficulty as well as negativity. So, as an investor, we are that what is going to be happen to our investment. On the same side, employees are thinking whether I will be able to continue the job or not. Customers are thinking whether the startup will be able to serve or not. So in this tough time, in case you will be achieved to maintain all these three stakeholder, at least not more than that, so you can achieve the excellence per se. And I would like to mention here an example as well. Like I am investor in company called PSafe. And in this tough time, they have added lots of product in their offerings, and which were related to this COVID time, and they didn't have to shut down their shop for much time. So that's how whenever you adapt the change, as Mahavir sir very rightly said. So in case you will change in such a way, you can keep everyone's happy and you can keep ball rolling. That will be a great kind of excellence which you can achieve, and this can come through experience, that how to face this tough time. So tough time may keep coming and keep going, but you will have to be agile and understandable that how to change according to the situation.
Sure, no, that's perfectly very well put across, Amit, and that's on the lines of pivots and how changing to business environments is important, not just for a person but for a startup as well. And apart from PCF as well, one of the portfolios that you and me commonly share, a company called Med Delivery as well, which has perfectly pivoted to a PPE kit model and already doing almost 300 plus, almost 3,000 plus orders in a day. And I'm sure Sumit and Mahavir sir would know about that because that's a company based out of Jaipur. So yeah, I perfectly resonate with thoughts with all of you. Bibin, next obviously is you, and would love to know your thoughts as well, in your viewpoint, in your industry, in your experiences. How has been the psyche around how to achieve excellence in tough times? What are your thoughts?
See, there's a couple of things from my end. One, I'm a very strong believer that
Kौन?
okay, somebody has to mute their.
Mukesh sir.
Can you guys hear
So
me?
yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
This is
I
also
was on
achieving
mute. Can you
excellence.
still hear me? All right. Sorry, my kids.
No worries, no worries.
Right.
This is
So,
also part of achieving excellence.
So I was saying that I am a firm believer that the battles are won not by just weapons, by a strong team. So for me, the one major point of in getting excellence is keeping your team together. Tough times, but you need your people. Um, you know, uh, those are the people who were with you, are with you, and if they continue with you, you will actually achieve excellence. So keep your team together. I know the businesses are facing challenges. There are revenues falling at a major rate, but then keep your people together. Keep your good people together. That's very important.
Absolutely, Bipin. Absolutely. That is one very interesting view you've shared. So social distancing is not just with people, but you should always follow the bonds of sticking together with your people and should follow the same relationships as you had before COVID. You should strive on to the same relationships because that's what continues in the long run. So Mukesh sir, would love to have your views on the initial. We lost you for a bit on the initial front. So, love to know your views on achieving excellence in tough times and what has been that excellence for you.
Sorry, bad connection. I keep it to non-excellence telecom solution given by my service provider here. But yeah, so the point is, so the excellence. I think the most important part. Only students achieve excellence. I don't really see masters achieving excellence anywhere. So first point, I think we need to be able to understand that we need to be student and to be able to learn and figure things out, what's going on around us, and understand the basics. Amit sir have mentioned, Mavi sir have mentioned also as well around it, that until unless we don't have a great stakeholder fulfillment system, basic fundamentals in place, there is no point achieving excellence beyond it. There is no imposed innovation, there is no imposed excellence. Until I learn how to walk and get my organization to walk in the right direction, there is no point me flying it. I mean, I don't really see that's even possible out there. So for me, excellence, I think achieving excellence is first of all understanding what is my fundamental requirement of any business, life, education, anything that I really do. Make a continuously improving or a learning infrastructure within my own setup, whatever that I can really do, so that I can build on it all along. Create a sense of consistency in delivering whatever that I deliver, or is what I also feel, and stay the student of the game all along. Rahul Dravid is a great example. I really love and look up to him on that particular front. So just figure out, and like Mahavir sir was talking about the cool demeanor, he defined, Rahul Dravid defined the defensive shot to be the most aggressive stance one can really take in front of any cricketer or anything that's really coming in. So being defensive in these tough times is also not bad. It means you do understand, read the situation well, you have the excellence to be able to deal with and survive it. There's no point fighting the tide or fighting the storm unnecessarily. I don't really see a logical point around it. Yes, there are opportunities. There are enough and many. My business, by the grace of God, has grown fivefold in the last 4 months. Maybe because my business deals only with difficult organizations or difficult times. So this is a good time for business like mine. It's an opportunity time that I'd really say. But for startups, yes, it's a good time to be able to test yourselves. I know it's a difficult time. Nobody invited it. Nobody was ready for it. But I think our own internal systems to be resilient enough and surviving through this is the excellence I would say for this year. And I'm sure
Absolutely.
entrepreneurs will take care of it. we are pretty good at that.
Absolutely. Very, very well put across, Mukesh sir. And sometimes being on the defensive can be the most aggressive move you can take forward
Absolutely.
in particular circumstances. So that's very well put forward. And the next set of question, I'm sure you all have indirectly answered it. But if you can get a very quick response, more like an elevator pitch sort of response to this question, which is, do you see these times as a restraint or do you see these times as an opportunity? And if so, why? Just short comments on that, starting with Saurabh sir. Your comments on that. Overall, do you see
I
these times
see
as a restraint or an opportunity?
I see
Yeah,
this as an opportunity because, like I told already, that in the tough times, see, obviously, you are basically giving an exam. So, if you are able to pass that exam, obviously, you will get the good result. So what I would say is that you should be positive in this current environment, and if you study the Spanish epidemic, the Spanish flu epidemic. So after the epidemic in 1920s, we had a very big boom. I believe that from 2021 onwards, we would have a very big boom. And this year is like वो होता है ना तूफान आने से पहले की शांति, ये उल्टा है कि शांति आने से पहले का तूफान है. So I would say that is what would happen, and we should be prepared for that.
absolutely, absolutely. That is a very good one. And Marcus sir would love to know your thoughts as well. Uh, you're there?
Hello?
Yeah, you're there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So
you heard me out as an opportunity or as an
yeah,
restraint?
it's obviously an opportunity. There's no two ways about it. I think I agree with Saurabh. The future is very, very robust. Right now is the time to consolidate your whatever assets you have, whether it's your product or your service or your team or your customers, improve upon them, strengthen them, stand still and survive, bootstrap if you have to. The future is very good. Make sure whatever you create now is COVID-like situation proof. And I think it's absolutely an opportunity. It's become a level playing field. The environment and or whatever forces have just leveled the entire world into. I mean, no one can now say what is in the startup ecosystem, at least, that this is a developed country or a non-developed country. I think we're all in the same boat, struggling with similar problems. So I think it's a great opportunity for India and startups in India.
Absolutely. I resonate as well. And as said by Amit as well in the chat, that it's a great leveler. This COVID is a great leveler. It has hit the rich, it has hit the poor, it has hit the wealthy, it has hit everyone, not just startups. So obviously, yeah, it's there as an opportunity, provided who takes it and makes the best use of it. And I would also request the speakers as well, whenever they are speaking, just to put their video on at that point of time. You can switch off that video for the rest of the time. But whenever you're speaking, just put on the video on, so that our lovely audience can see all of your lovely faces as well, and we can have a nice interactive discussion. That being said, would love to have Amit's view on that. Restraint or an opportunity, Amit sir? What do you think?
So Aditya, there is no doubt that this was a challenge for everyone, and COVID is a challenge which everyone will have to overcome. But whenever we talk about startup, they will have to find out the opportunity out of the problems. Unless there is problems, there is no logic to have a startup to solve that problem. So definitely, out of challenges, it is a more like an opportunity for everyone who will find out the right opportunity from it. He can have a new kind of version as well to go forward. So definitely I look it like an opportunity for startup particularly, and by government involvement like Atmanirbhar Bharat, Vocal for Local, etc. As now the government focus have also been increased for this particular segment for particularly startups. So I personally feel that this is an opportunity for startup ecosystem.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. Uh, uh, and the reason I put this question was because it's more like a half glass full, half glass empty philosophy. So restraint for someone wants to procrastinate further, doesn't thinks that this is not the right time to start a startup, it never will be. An opportunity for someone, which I believe is think that whenever you have the conviction, when you have the grit and the confidence, every time is the right time for you. So and absolutely well put across by Amit. So Bipin, would love to know your thoughts as well, and if you can on your video as well. Love to know your thoughts on restraint or an opportunity these days.
It's definitely an opportunity, Aditya. In fact, on that note, I would actually ask my friends who are listening and startups to follow three terms which I've been following. It's analyze, own your niche, and brace. Analyze, own, and brace. So when I say analyze, I just want to spend one moment on that. That if when I say analyze, you need to figure out that why is your business impacted, because I predominantly think there are only two reasons why business are getting impacted today. One is because people are feeling poorer. I mean, the customers are feeling poorer or investors are feeling poorer. Second is because of the health reasons. So if it is due to the health reasons, then probably the startup would need to pivot. And if it's because the customers or investors and everybody is feeling poorer using their service or product, then probably they should wait. So they should wait for the right time. And so on that perspective, I think it's definitely an opportunity. And why I'm saying this is I'll take an example of hospitals, because we deal with we have one of my business deal with a lot of hospitals. And let me tell you, a lot of hospitals are actually shut. They are not functional. They don't not because they don't. There are people are not falling sick. It's only the COVID hospitals which are doing great, right? But the other people, other patients who are falling sick, who were falling sick, or who have ailments which need to be treated regularly, they are preferring to have their treatments at home, right? And hence there are startups which are booming at that level, at that segment. So I definitely feel it's an opportunity, but I would still repeat that we need to analyze the scenario, we need to hold onto our niche, and we need to brace our impact.
Of course, opportunity, and I said Vibin as well, that opportunity does not mean that you just lash onto it without even thinking two ways about it. It's not that. Yeah, it's a difficult time, and you have to carefully devise your strategy and see who all you can work with in these tough times. So very well put across, Bipin. Mukesh sir, if you can have your video as well and your thoughts as well as a restraint or an opportunity, and I'm sure I'm loving your hairstyle as well.
Oh, is it? Yeah. So it's an opportunity for me to grow my hair this time, right? So thanks a lot for that. See, point that I really talk about is restraint requires more strength than anything else. I don't know if people who really been working out or who've been holding things for long, or probably who do strengthening work, they've realized that restraint requires much more strength than just running blind. So I think a lot of businesses are showing great strength in restraining. So I won't call it a bad term, or I won't want to use it as a negative term altogether. If you are showing restraint and if you are doing well, it is even better that you guys can actually work with it and showing restraint at this point in time, which is sensible, which is intelligent, which is smart. Definitely, it's an opportunity. I have latched onto this opportunity, as I just mentioned. I've expanded into 4 different countries altogether, and I have gone digital after 10 years of my business for the first time. So there are so many things that we are doing right now because I had to reach out globally now, and things are changing altogether. So if there is a restraint required for some time for you to assess, as BB was talking about, analyzing, understanding, and holding on to your growth plans, holding on to your aggressive B2B plans, marketing spend, so many things that you had planned already for until about 21st of March 2020. Anything before that is a moot point now. So everything is changing in today's times. So if there is a restraint, you can hold on to it. That is a great show of character and strength. And if at all you can really work, it definitely is an opportunity. Latch onto it. Don't miss out on it. Is something I would say. Stick around. This is a great time for people who want to innovate and stick around, for sure.
Absolutely. And Mukesh stands as a perfect testament to someone who's latched onto that opportunity and made good use of this bad time. So yeah, again, that's very well, and that's what I was expecting from all the panelists out there, that everyone would give a positive response and opportunity. And that's what is, I guess, common amongst all of us, that we are always very positive, we are always very hopeful of things, and that's what keeps us going every day, I believe. And that's why we always consider it as an opportunity and not a restraint. So that is one very big takeaway to all our panelists as well. So we've come to the last segment, to the last question. I'm just taking your closing remarks on the topic. I would have loved if could have went on, but again, we'll have to close this in the wake of time. So I'm sure you all would have heard from a lot of people who approach you for various different reasons, that they come with myths that it's not the right time to start a startup, investors are not investing capital, startups are running out of cash, startups, so many of these startups will get shut. There's a lot of prediction, there's a lot of and that not at all substantial as well. A lot of back and forth which is happening, a lot of myths that are there in the ecosystem. So, with that being in mind, I would love to get your closing remarks on that message you want to address to the budding entrepreneurs, to anyone out there who wants to strive for excellence. So, Saurabh sir, would love if you can start with your remarks on that.
So I think, like I already told, ki this is the best time to start a startup, and I believe there are 2-3 reasons. So see, first reason is कि many good people are now being thrown out of their companies. So it is easier to recruit those people. Second is कि even because of the economic condition, good people are not asking good salaries right now. So that is also a good thing. Third thing is that if you were a bootstrap startup, now you are at level playing field with the funded startup, and especially your employees are not asking for a raise, and because you were bootstrapped earlier, when you used to see the funding stories, you used to feel कि यार इसको तो फंडिंग मिल गई इसलिए ये जीत रहा है, बट अब वो इशू ही खत्म हो गया है. तो आई बिलीव कि दिस इज अ गुड टाइम. अगर इसको मैं एक एनालॉजी दूं, मेरी काफ़ी, मैं माइथोलॉजी से काफ़ी रिलेट करता हूँ. सो व्हाट आई वुड लाइक टू से इज, कल ही मैं स्टार प्लस पे महाभारत आती है फॉर अ चेंज, इस बार मैंने 2-3 महीने लगातार देखी, बिकॉज आई थिंक महाभारत इज द टेल्स यू अ लॉट अबाउट द करंट सिनेरियो. तो वो श्री कृष्ण कल यही कह रहे थे, एंड इट वाज द सेकंड लास्ट एपिसोड. ही वाज सेइंग कि द्रौपदी उनसे पूछती है कि इतना विनाश होना जरूरी था क्या. तो श्री कृष्ण बोले हाँ, अगर आगे हम अच्छा चाहते थे समय, तो उसके लिए इतना विनाश होना जरूरी था. तो आई बिलीव कि ये जरूरी था. देखिए, आप जानते हैं कि वर्ल्ड वाज डिपेंडेंट ऑन चाइना, एंड वी वर थिंकिंग कि इंडिया में तो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग होनी नहीं चाहिए. वी शुड, ऑल पीपल वर बिलीविंग कि चाइना में मैन्युफैक्चरिंग होनी चाहिए. आई थिंक now the world is focused on manufacturing internally, so this will be good for India. जैसे yesterday only I heard कि first iPhone 11 was produced out of factory in India. So I believe कि India would have very good time in 2021, because world over the manufacturing, even if it shifts 10% from China to India, it will be good. The second thing is that like I told all the other points, that for startups specifically, that many people also would start startup, because जैसे एक मैं छोटा सा एग्जांपल देता हूँ. अभी जैसे फॉर लास्ट 3-4 months आई वाज इन दी होम, तो आई गॉट लॉट ऑफ टाइम टू थिंक, इंट्रोस्पेक्ट कि हाउ आई वांट टू लिव द लाइफ. मेनी पीपल से कि अभी तो इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू से कि व्हाट वुड हैपन इन फ्यूचर, बट आई से कि देखो, दो ही चीज हो सकती है, या तो आप मर जाओगे या जियोगे. 97% चांस एज पर स्टैटिस्टिक्स इज कि वी वुड नॉट डाई फ्रॉम कोरोना. सो आई वुड से कि वी कैन प्लान फॉर नेक्स्ट 10-20 years, एंड उससे एक क्लैरिटी हो गई है लाइफ में. जैसे मैं अपना बताऊं तो 6 महीने पहले जितनी क्लैरिटी थी लाइफ की, उससे ज्यादा आज क्लैरिटी है कि लाइफ में क्या करना है, जो वॉज ओनली पॉसिबल बिकॉज आई गॉट टाइम, एंड जनरली यू गॉट टाइम अलोन ऑल्सो, बिकॉज कई बार क्या होता था कि टाइम होता भी था तो यू हैड पीपल, जैसे ऑफिस वगैरह में टाइम होता भी है तो इट्स नॉट टाइम अलोन. तो व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज कि मेरे को तो पॉजिटिवली लगता है कि दिस इज द बेस्ट टाइम टू स्टार्ट अ स्टार्टअप. अगर आपको स्टार्ट करनी है अर्ली स्टेज स्टार्टअप, इट्स द बेस्ट टाइम, एंड ये समय दोबारा नहीं आएगा. तो स्टार्ट अ स्टार्टअप. अगर आप आज नहीं स्टार्ट करोगे तो इट वुड बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू स्टार्ट आफ्टर 2-3 years, जब व्हेन जॉब मार्केट वुड बी गुड एंड यू विल बी हैविंग अ गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट. आज तो अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट भी नहीं है ना 90% लोगों के लिए. सो इट्स अ गुड टाइम टू स्टार्ट अ स्टार्टअप.
Definitely, sir. That's really whatever time you decide is the best time, maybe, and that's what came out of your response as well. So Mahavir sir would love if you can just give a very short response. We already shot up about 15 minutes from the planned
I know. So
session time.
I will not repeat what Saurabh said. I mean, absolutely agree with him on everything. I'd just like to say a little later stage startups are having a tough time. I just want them to cut down on their overheads, stop spending money on things that are not beneficial in the short run, invest in technology and invest in your team. If you don't have salaries or money to pay to your staff, which you can't leave, offer them ESOPs and offer them positions that they can't refuse. You need to have a good team when times turn around. Early stage, best time. I agree with Saurabh. Thank you.
Definitely, definitely. So one way to summarize Mahavir sir's response: the Godfather's movie that make them an offer they can't refuse. So happy to have Amit sir's view as well on this, sir. Quickly, if you can just tell with your closing remarks.
Yeah, so remarks are exactly same what Mavi sir and Saurabh said. So it is the right time to start because now you know the new world, how it's going to be, what will be the new normal, and how the consumer will behave. So I personally feel that you can accordingly create the idea. Considering the post-COVID situation, which will be 2021, so it is the best time to start considering all this situation.
Definitely, definitely. Vipin, if you can just put your video on, yeah, and give your response. Thank you,
Sure.
sir. Thank you, Amit sir, for your response.
Fantastic things coming from Mahavir sir, Saurabh sir, and Amit sir. So only thing I want to say on my closing remark is that if you are starting now, then ensure it's a good time to start, amazing time to start. But if you're starting now, please ensure that you're building a product or a service which is a must-have and not just a good-to-have. That's my view. And if you are an existing startup, you're running good, then please keep a watch on the market and ensure that you enhance your customer love towards your product. These are two things which I would want to say in my closing remarks, Aditya.
Definitely, that's a very interesting segment. So always love your products, love your customers, and I believe that should be a winning formula. Pre-COVID, post-COVID, anytime, any point of time, right? Mukesh sir, if you can just share your remarks as well. You can unmute yourself.
So I think the advantage of saying the last is when everybody has said everything already. So that's a good advantage out here. I have to say less. But one thing I'll repeat myself again, which I keep telling a lot of people is about relevance. There is going to be a million activations this year that is going to happen about products you think is so relevant. Like everybody would love the PPE kits and masks and everything, and I'm sure the industry numbers are already talking about overproduction that we have at this point in time. So there is going to be a lot of activation this year, which may not hold relevance in the future, maybe as immediate as next year itself. So understand and gauge that relevance, which is very, very important because we will all get swayed by what everybody's asking today because nobody even knows what 2021 is going to look like. So just study, do your research, understand and do the legwork. That's very, very important and figure out the relevance to the markets post 2020. 2020, whatever that you want to make money today, yes, definitely it's a good time. Transactionally, yes, it is very good time for someone who, like you had a med startup who's selling masks and PPE kits. But I think life has to go beyond that also as well, is what I'd say. And very good time to start the startup at this point in time.
Obviously. So that's very well put across, and there's always a reason there's a reason I put you at last because the one who goes last concludes the points of everyone and gets the best marks.
To be at that point. Yeah, it's a brilliant thing to be at that point. Yes, so good. Yeah.
Yeah, so amazingly, and you heard it from the people in the ecosystem themselves that it's the best time you can make use of this opportunity because we've been hearing that once this goes over, there's going to be a big boom in consumer spending and everything in every fox of life. People are just going to unleash what's been hidden and being captured, and I would say the word logged all this while. So thank you so much. As much I would have loved to continue this conversation. I unfortunately have to sort of stop now and give time for the team for MentorKart who have put across this great session altogether. And I'm sorry I could not speak a lot in the beginning due to technical issues, but thank you so much to Ashish and also to the entire team of MentorKart KPH as well for introducing us. And it's all because of you guys. We are here and share our learnings with the people out there. And thank you so much to our lovely audience as well for asking so many questions. We could not answer all, but please do connect with the panelists. They are lovely people in the ecosystem. I can surely vouch for that, and they'll be more than happy to help you with whatever help they can. So with that, I'll end my remarks, and I'll hand over the stage to KPH. Thank you so much, guys, and stay safe, take care, and wish you guys the best.
Thank you so much, Aditya, and very, very big thanks to the entire panel. I must say it was a very value-adding session, and just not for saying that I'm saying it, but I honestly felt that every point that was discussed was not only something that brought a picture, that made the picture more clear, but the way you explained it also, I think it will remain in mind of everyone who is listening to it. So thank you once again to everyone who was there, and I would now hand over the stage to Ashish sir to just conclude the session, and we can move on to the next one. So thank you so much once again. And meanwhile, I would request the entire audience to please ensure that you're clapping, you're sending your enthusiasm and your appreciation to all the panelists, because I am sure they have taken out time from a busy schedule from their life to ensure that they can add value in life, and that's a big thing, I believe. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. And it was very niceful thoughts. Everything has been shared with all the startups and even otherwise. Though we have a mixed audience today, everybody is learning since morning, and good thing that all the time at least 100 people are watching us on this platform, as well as we are doing live streaming on YouTube, and that is also going there. A lot of views are happening there, so it's good that we have a good interaction. Okay, thank you very much. So KPI, and then now
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, guys.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
Wish you guys the best. Thank you.
Thank you. You can talk about the video, KPH. Let me run.
Yes, sir.
Can you announce for the video?
Can you hear me?
You can announce for the video. I can run.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, now for the few people who came a little late, and we really want that we all interact about that one app that really is going to, I'm sure, change everyone's life. We quickly would request Ashish sir to switch on that one video, and we can quickly know about this beautiful app and the amazing features it has to offer to everyone. So. I must say this is a very, very interesting video that plays, and it shows everything that MentorKart has to offer. One last time I would quickly like to address our audience and would like to say to all those people who have come a little late, you couldn't hear, I would say once again a very exciting thing, that just for today's session till 5 o'clock, there is an amazing thing that MentorKart has done, that anybody of you, you just have to go, you have to download the app, and then there is a version for which people usually pay 3,000 rupees. You get that version only for 11 rupees, only for 11 rupees for 3 months. And I think there's no better offer than that. If you're a student, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a profession, there are 3 discount codes that we would provide in the chat section. Everyone keep a keen eyes there. And I'm sure that once you find that correct mentor or MentorKart, you will not only thank the world, your stars to be here in this meeting today, but I'm sure your entire life will take a 360-degree turn. So with this, I would like to hand over the stage to Ashish, sir.
Thank you. Let me, so we'll come back with another session and then we take it forward from there. Till then, you can do a networking amongst the people. I hope you understand that there's a networking available. So the moment I end the session, what happened is all of you who are sitting on the tables can talk to each other, right? Can talk to not only each other on private chat, but you can do a video call among yourself. So by the time you enjoy the networking, know people across the country, all from places are there. And it is always good to know people whom you don't know and do a networking, right? By the time I come back, right?